First of all, can you tell me your name and your classification and your major?
Alexandria Turner. I'm a freshman and I major in occupational therapy.
Okay. Alexandria, Texas is preparing to pass a state law that would allow students and professors to carry handguns on a college campus. How would you feel if the University of Memphis passed a law like that?
I would feel it both ways because one, if somebody was crazy or had a mental problem, they could bring a gun on campus. But I see it a tough way if somebody was crazy, might have somebody on campus with a gun that could take him down.
Okay. Would you feel safer or less safe if the law was passed?
Probably safer.
So because
Because we would have more on campus just in case something did happen. People would have them on them if they're registered.
okay, would you carry a gun if that was something that was allowed?
Probably not.
You wouldn't carry a gun.
I wouldn't carry one. I'd rather keep a taser and some pepper spray on me.
First of all, could you just tell us your name, your classification, and your major?
Adam Serio, I'm a senior in sports management major.
Okay, Adam. Like I mentioned, Texas getting ready to pass these laws that allow students and professors to carry. How would you feel if Tennessee passed that same law that will allow students to carry guns here at Memphis?
I don't feel very safe with the recent shootings on campuses like Virginia Tech and Northern Illinois. I don't think it would be a very good idea for them to be able to do that.
If that was something that was passed, would you consider maybe carrying a gun?
Probably not, because I don't really believe in gun violence. I think it's a problem that's affecting the country and the world, and by me carrying a gun, it's not going to solve anything.
Okay. And I feel like I have one more question here that I was going to ask you before I let you go. Tell you what, Adam, could you just tell us your name, your classification, and your major?
My name is Brandon Pulley. I'm a accounting major. And what was the last thing you wanted?
You're going to be a junior, senior?
Yeah, I'm a junior.
Okay. All right, Brandon. Like I said, Texas getting ready to pass these gun laws. Students and professors could have. How would you feel if Tennessee passed that law and students and professors could have handguns on this campus?
I feel like it would be a good law knowing that this is Memphis, Tennessee. So I think it's the murder capital. So it makes sense. And I feel like that since everybody's going to school to better themselves, I feel like why let somebody just, everybody has the right to defend themselves, so that's basically it right there.
Would you feel safer if guns were allowed on the campus?
To be honest, it goes both ways because, I'm sure there's people that carry guns illegally on campus right now. But I guess you could say I would feel safer. I believe I would.
Okay. Would you consider carrying a gun if that was something that was allowed?
Yeah, if I was 21, I would. I know that's my plan. So yeah, if it's allowed, I would consider take that. Yeah.
How would you feel if you were sitting in a classroom and potentially every single student in there had a handgun?
I can't say that I would feel particularly safe. I don't think that is necessarily a good thing. I'm actually a pretty strong supporter of the Second Amendment. I'm not anti-gun. But I do think that there are certain places where it's not necessarily appropriate for everyone to be packing heat. I'm less nervous about it in a college classroom than I am in a bar, but I can't say that I would feel particularly good about that. No.
Would that be something you would consider if you were applying to be a teacher somewhere? Would you look at that before you just said, hey, I'm going to apply here?
Yeah, I think that might be something that I'd take into consideration, certainly. Yeah.
And what else did I want to ask you? Would you consider carrying a gun if the University of Memphis allowed it and you knew that students possibly had guns?
I just am not really a gun person. My husband is a gun owner, but I personally do not see myself as being the type that would resort to such measures in order to protect myself.
Do you think this should be something that Tennessee as a whole or Memphis should look into as far as allowing students and professors to do?
I think it's unnecessary. I don't see any need for guns to be on campus, and I don't think that that's something we need to be worrying about right now. Personally, I think our state legislature should be worried about creating jobs in this economy and not, stuff like this that I consider kind of a distraction.
On the safety scale, say 1 to 10, where do you feel now, and where do you think you would feel if everybody was carrying handguns?
I feel pretty safe overall. I mean, I would say I'm at about an 8 or 9, and I think that would actually drop if all the students were to have guns. I mean, I think that, you know, all metropolitan areas in America have a certain amount of risk, but I think University of Memphis is particularly safe. I think sometimes the risks tend to be exaggerated and are very rare. But I would just think that if everyone, even potentially students that maybe have some mental instability, like we've seen with, you know, Virginia Tech and the case in Arizona, them having a lethal weapon in hand would just kind of exacerbate that situation quite a bit.